Hello everyone, I'm Emily Roah. We're here at the Martin Forum Address where former U.S. Ambassador to Kosovo, Jeff Hovenier, will be speaking about U.S.-Europe relations. Attendees include both University of Idaho students and Moscow residents, interested in hearing from an experienced diplomat.
So for almost 20 years, we've been hosting an annual Visiting Distinguished Practitioner of International Affairs, or VDPIA, which has typically taken the form of a retired U.S. ambassador, though we've had a retired UK ambassador, a NATO official, and a sitting Danish ambassador as well. Typically, this relates to something our students are studying, often tied to our Model UN delegation getting ready to go to New York City. In this case, we're studying Europe. We look for someone who had been a recently retired ambassador to European countries to come visit us, and that's how we found Jeff. So one of the most interesting things about the visits is that they get to stay for 3 to 3.5 days, engage widely with students in different classes, their own class, the public talk, but also office hours, club visits, and more.
So what did I love about being an ambassador to the Republic of Kosovo? First, it is an honor and a privilege to represent the United States of America, and particularly at the level of ambassador. I got to be a U.S. diplomat for almost 35 years, and every day I was proud to represent the United States, but especially special to be an ambassador and to be the head of a mission and the president's personal representative. I'd also, in my career, had the opportunity to work several times on Kosovo and be part of the U.S. team that helped respond to a brutal campaign of ethnic cleansing against the ethnic Albanian people of Kosovo and help negotiate its independence. And so going back as ambassador just felt like coming full circle, and I was welcomed and appreciated, and it was just a really wonderful experience to advance the foreign policy interests and goals of the United States in a country that we share so much in common with. So what do I love about being a senior fellow with the Atlantic Council? So the Atlantic Council is probably one of the oldest and most distinguished entities in Washington, D.C. that works hard on enhancing transatlantic relations and explaining Europe to Americans, but also explaining America to Europeans. And being a senior fellow allows me to write and be engaged in discussions about strategic U.S. interests, again, with Europe, particularly on the Western Balkans, where there's still a lot of work to be done. So it's an opportunity, now that I'm retired from public service, to still continue to be involved in advancing the interests of the United States and hopefully the interests of our European allies together. As you may have seen in the advertisements, the title of my remarks was, quote, U.S.-European Relations, Partnership, Power, and Policy in a Changing World. And beyond the alliteration of that last little bit, I chose that title rather deliberately because I think it reflects the key issues we need to be thinking about as we think about U.S. and Europe, and that is partnership, policy dynamics, or power dynamics, and policy at a time of both change and, in some respects, transition. I'm going to try to address 3 broad questions. The first one, what has the U.S.-European partnership achieved, and how has it advanced the interests of the United States? The second one, where do we find ourselves today in a period marked by geopolitical competition and internal strain? And third, why, despite real differences and disagreements, the United States and Europe, do they still need each other? And I believe they do. Why do we still need each other? And how do we benefit from this relationship?
I came here tonight because, well, as part of the Martin Institute, I really appreciate all the events that they put on, as well as the fact that I'm in a 1-week, 1-credit course where we got to interact with the ambassador and ask him questions and learn more about the U.S. and the EU. I think that the current political climate has put our relationship with the EU at the forefront, and I think that it was really important and beneficial to hear about that from an ambassador with so much experience.
So that class, the UN class I talked about, brought me here tonight. I was really interested in how these foreign relations work and how U.S. interests are applied overseas.
For the remainder of his days in Moscow, Hovenier will visit with international studies and political science students, as well as teaching a compressed course, giving advice, direction, and invaluable mentoring. This is Emily Roah, signing off.